You know, I've known her for a long time. She's extraordinarily unfair, but that's all right. We did very well the other night with a person I knew was even more unfair, Savannah. In fact, nobody's seen Savannah for 2 days. What happened to Savannah? What happened to Savannah? They said, we'd like to give Savannah Guthrie. I said, that's all right. What difference does it make? They ask you a question, you give them an answer, right? It doesn't matter. But she was sort of jumping out of her seat. She was like flying for it. She was like, I told you. I said, I don't care what you told me. What does that mean? No, but we actually got 8+ marks on that, but it was very unfair. And then you watch Sleepy Joe get interviewed by George Stephanopoulos, nice guy, but he's a tough guy, and he's tough. I interviewed with him 2 weeks ago. Who's tough? He's given like these lobs, like this, in slow motion, lobs. No, it's unfair, but you know what? It's so unfair, and we're president, and they're not, right? That's how unfair it is. We're. But they want to fund extreme late-term abortion. They want to pack. Well, you got to get out and vote. You got to get out and vote. Got to get out and vote. They want to pack the Supreme Court. You know what that is? They could end up with 16, 19, 20. They want to put far-left judges on the court. They're going to pick people so far left, and you'll end up with far-left justices like we've never had ever before. And our Supreme Court, instead of being what it is now, revered, will end up being nothing. And they want to protect criminals and disarm law-abiding Americans. They want to take away your Second Amendment. If Biden wins, the lawless demonstrators in our streets, and you see them all the time, they're Democratic run. You know, I always say Democrat. You know why? Because it sounds worse. They should actually change their name to the Democratic. Democrat sounds lousy, but you know what? That's actually their name. The Democrat Party, right? The Democrat Party. So I always say Democrat. They say Democratic. I said, why don't you try changing your name officially? But the lawless demonstrators, and they're all Democrat-run cities and states. Almost every single one of them. And they don't want to really take care of it. They don't want to take care of law enforcement. They want to cut. You see what's going on in Seattle? First of all, the police, who we love, they're all quitting. They're all leaving. And they'd still be occupying Seattle, except they found out that we were going in the morning that they all raised their hands. The reason they raised their hands is we were going in that morning. We're going to take over. Can you believe it? We're going to take over the large section of Seattle that these anarchists had. They're anarchists. That's all they are. But, you know, in theory, law and order is right. In theory, we have to be asked. We have to be asked to do it. The federal government has to be asked. But we went into Minneapolis, and you know what happened? How long did that take? About 30 minutes? Remember, they formed a line. They formed another line. They were not socially distanced, which is very bad. In fact, they were very close. They had the world's most expensive uniforms on. They had helmets that cost a fortune. There was more computer stuff going on in those helmets. But, you know, under the helmets, great brains and tough. And they formed those lines. And then they said, okay, let's go. This is after 2 weeks of destruction in Minneapolis. That's why we're going to win Minnesota for the first time since 1972, Republican Party. We're going to win. Now, it doesn't hurt that in Minnesota they have Ilhan Omar, who hates our country, who's broken the law. But she's broken the law. Let's see what happens, but she's broken the law. But she hates our country. No, we're going to win. We're going to win because of what we did with Minneapolis. We saved Minneapolis, and we saved Seattle. I mean, Seattle was going real bad. And do you want to know the truth? We're sort of saving the whole country, if you really think about it. And that's why we have spirit, the likes of which I don't think any campaign has ever had. That's what's happened. That's what's happened. You know something, I just left Michigan.